we are linked with a player that has split the fan base a little bit. So this is from the Examiner Live. Sheffield Wednesday linked with shock swoop for former Rangers forward who is a free agent. Sheffield Wednesday have been linked with a swoop for ex-Glasgow Rangers forward Andy Dallas. He is without a club after allowing his contract at non-league Solihull Moors to expire. He notched 21 times in the National League last term in a campaign that saw him play not for just Moors but also Chesterfield. He spent 2 months with the Spyrites on loan and hit a purple patch as they reached the playoff final, only to cruelly lose out to Notts County. He scored the opener in the Wembley Classic, which finished 2-2 after extra time before County edged it on penalties to end their EFL exile. Right. So, the one thing I want to start this with is there's more in that article if you want to go and read it, by the way, but many of our fans have said for a long time, we should be looking at hidden gems and people in the lower leagues. Does anybody remember Jamie Vardy, who went through the lower leagues because it didn't work out, and then he had a purple patch and then became a Premier League winner? Right.
Lee Gregory.
This is low risk for me.
Quad. Lee Gregory was in the same kind of situation.
Yes.
They both came up 25 years old.
Yes. And the National League, I know it was money, but National League had like Paul Mullen play for them. We'd have had Paul Mullen to us. He was linked with us the season before. Do you know what I mean? This is a player that is 24, I believe, 23, 24, because he's 23. He will be 24 in 5 days, actually, from this podcast. So he'll be 24 probably very shortly after you hear this. He is a good age. It's time to kick on and see if you can make it in the step up. You going off a player that has scored 13 goals, 21 goals last season, across quite a few fixtures. That's not too bad, is it?
No.
So I would say, first of all, you tell me what you think on this one, because then I've got another counter argument for it, actually, Jake.
Right. At the moment, my head is that it's a no-risk gamble. So basically, he comes in, he does really well, you tie him down to a contract, and you maybe see if someone could come in for him even more money kind of thing, if he does well. If he doesn't go well, you took the gamble, it's not worked out, and he goes lower down the league. I think this is a win-win. And in the position we're currently in, I don't think we can be arguing about if a player had been linked with, even if it is from non-league. This is the thing we've been talking about for God knows how long on this podcast. Let's look at what Peterborough do. Let's look at what Brentford do. Let's look at what Notts County do when they were in the EFL beforehand. Look at all these teams who go for the non-league players and then they suddenly turn out to be really good. Out of 50, you might get 2 that go on to be really good and worth it, but you've taken that risk. You're not paying a transfer fee, and you would only have to pay wages, and I can't see him wanting massive wages. My only concern, it's a big step up from two levels instead of coming from just one. But if you take the same thing, Barnsley's defender who was in the finals just gone from Barnsley to Luton in the Premier League.
Yeah, it happens. But I will say, for every player that does that, there's potentially got to be a Stevie May.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that I wanted to say on this, because it did I got really excited about Stevie May because I thought if he can translate,
So did I. I got his name on the back of the shirt.
Let's not be harsh here. The Scottish Prem, I will say, is a higher level than the National League. In fairness, not all the teams, potentially, but you got to be really careful with this, haven't you? But there's definitely, he basically scored 20 goals in 38 appearances, Stevie May, before he joined us from St. Johnstone. He then went on to play 39 times for us, scoring 7 goals.
Did he go to Preston?
Which at the end of the day is probably not our worst return for a player, but then he went to Preston and had 7 appearances, scoring no goals. The season after that, 5 appearances, scoring 1 goal, and then he went back to the Scottish Prem, and he's not been the same since. We basically ruined him.
Well, after Wednesday,
which is it is, yeah, it is. So he had one good season.
Yeah.
Where he scored 20 goals and we took the risk on him.
But
you could say Dallas has probably had one really good season. However, the season before, actually last season, he scored 19 in 43. So he's had a couple of decent seasons in the National League. And he's one of those that might just fit in. If he fits into our system, maybe he's a good run. I only wanted to bring up the Stevie May thing just for a slight sense of caution.
But just remember, with Stevie May, we paid a fee. With this, it's a free agent and no fee.
Yes.
It's just wages.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's a very good point. That's something that's well worth considering.
On that point, if you're thinking about the sustainable model Chansiri is wanting to do, in that sense, it works out quite well. Like, it's a win-win kind of thing. If it doesn't work out, we pay someone not much wages and it's not worked out and you go from there. If it does work out, you may have someone who's decent. And if, say, someone says, hey, he looks decent, I want him, we can turn around and go, well, this is how much we say for it.
Yeah. I think also this is what we are in this situation. I think small risks like this are the best way forward because we could spend a lot of money and end up in a bad situation, or this could be something that, if we look at our squad now and we think, well, we've got players there that can do a job for us this season, taking a gamble on somebody at 23, 24, giving them a couple of years deal with options, seeing if they can make the step up, I'm all right with it, you know?
Also, are we in a position... He has been in the
championship...
to
he hasn't been in the championship, sorry.
A sniff of the player. Are we actually in a position to be poo-pooing players? Not really.
No. His highest level in English football is League 2, right? He's played for Cambridge before.
Didn't do great either.
But 2 goals, 23 appearances across all his time there in League 2. But he's at that age where he might have found a patch and it might just fit in the... It might fit for him. It might be one of those. The last time he was in FIFA, he was FIFA 21 in Ultimate Team and he was a 57 rated goal striker. So, he had 81 pace though. So
who knows?
We're talking about strikers with pace. If it replicates into real life, I can't say I've seen this guy play, to be honest, Jake.
Seen bits,
you might have seen a bit in the playoffs.
I've seen bits of him and he does look decent. I just think it's one of those ones where you take the risk. Like the clubs that are in for him as well are Wigan, Cheltenham, Barnsley. We're the highest club in for him. Normally that equals going to said club.
Let's just start taking these risks. Yeah. Just don't give him something stupid. See if he can step up to the expectation. We need younger strikers. Strikers are getting on. So we could be that move for him. And if it doesn't work out, it's a free. We sell him on.
Yeah.
You know, we sell him to like a League 2 club or see what happens. I'd take him. We need transfers, Jake. We just need players in.